Christmas is 1 week from today. Scary, right? With the holidays here. A new Pew Research poll finds 3 out of 4 Americans are looking forward to visiting with family and friends this season. It's also a time for taking stock of health and happiness. CBS News contributor and Republican strategist Frank Luntz is his name, brought together 17 parents to talk about the state of the American family.
I begin with a simple question. Is it easier or harder today to raise your children than it was for you and your parents when they were raising you? Who thinks it's easier? Who thinks it's harder? Everybody. Who thinks it's much harder? Why is it so hard?
Too many distractions, for one, just between iPads and TV and cell phones. There's just so much to try to keep a hold of.
Isn't technology a good thing?
Technology is good for the most part, but not in the hands of children.
You know what it is? There's no guidelines.
And what's that?
In other words, they can go as far as they want, whenever they want. Nobody's putting a lid on it saying, hey, it's 3 in the morning, stop, get off the iPad and go study.
Isn't that your job?
That's right. And my kids don't do it.
The technological distractions interfere with the educational process. They interfere with family life because my daughter, she wants to do this, and not do anything with me. And it irritates me that, you know, her Facebook page is more important than, I'm not kidding, it's true, you know, it's her Facebook, Twitter account is more important than family life.
I don't let my kids do any of that, and I think that is part of the problem. My children are very shy. I make them interact with people. I think it's hard to battle a narcissistic society that is teaching my child to think about themselves and no one else.
Is every parent a role model?
Not every parent. I am. I can't speak for anybody else, but I make it a point to be the best I can be as a parent.
Do your children appreciate that?
Oh, she does. She has no choice. She doesn't have a choice.
What values do you want to teach your kids? If you're parents, what do you want your children to know? And how do you want them to behave?
Me, that they're accountable for their actions. They're good ones and they're bad ones. That there
That's
are
number one.
rewards and there are penalties.
To teach your kids personal responsibility.
Yeah. Self-control.
Yes.
Are there any single parents here? Okay, so we got 3 of them. How hard is it for you when are you raising your child?
Yeah.
How hard is it for you to raise your child without a mom?
I mean, it's pretty hard because you have to, I mean, a father is one thing, but you do have to have certain types of sensibilities because, I mean, she's of the opposite sex. You have to have certain types of sensibilities in that area there.
What is the unique challenges of being a mother and a father?
Just trying to be both parents is what I find difficult because I'm a firm believer, and I was raised by a single dad, that even to this day, not having my mom, I still at this age feel like I missed out on something that I need her. So that gives me the want to do much better as a parent. So I try my best to be both parents, although I can't, because I truly believe that children need both parents.
We've kind of lost touch of knowing gender roles because, you know, women's liberation, I'm all for it. I think it's great. However, there are certain things that a woman needs to learn from a woman and a man needs to learn from a man.
We need a balance, especially in our community. We need men to raise our sons. A woman cannot do it. A woman cannot do it.
There's a mother that's trying to be both parents. There's a father that's being both parents.
A woman can't show a man to be a man. Just
Okay,
like
but
a
you're
man
telling
can't
me
show
that he
his
can't tell
daughter
his
how to
daughter?
be a woman.
Why is this so
That's
emotional?
the whole thing.
In our community, we just been ransacked.
What is the black community? First of all, we are one America, and black America's problem is America's problem. So that's my biggest issue with this whole conversation, number one. Number two, we do need to work on building families as a whole.
Do any of you have trouble in a typical day just making it through from morning to night? Is that difficult for anyone?
Yeah.
What is difficult?
Exhaustion. Just tired between work and trying to do homework with the kids at the end of the day, or especially if you have a job that involves travel. Just makes it tough. You're always catching up when you get home.
I just feel like I'm working to death, and I don't really have much to show for it.
Do you think your children will have a better quality of life than you? Will they be better off or worse off?
Better.
How many of you think better?
Worse. I think
And how many of
what they
you,
make
and how many of you think worse?
Worse.
So you're split. Why do you think they'll be better?
Because technology is moving. The knowledge is there so they can obtain everything they want. It's achievable. It's right there in their face. So with that being said, I mean, you can do anything nowadays.
And who thinks it'll be worse?
I think home ownership is going to be out of the question for most of our kids in this room. I think taxation, the way the decline of government, the way that it's heading, We used to be an exceptional country. We have leaders now who don't believe in American exceptionalism, and I think our kids are going to have a much rougher time.
History says we have a long road to go. We can make it, but it's going to be hard. You know how we're going to do it? We got to work together.
Frank Luntz joins us at the table. All the parents seem to agree technology makes it hard, but I always think parents are the boss. Take away the technology. You can't have your iPad, your Twitter, your Facebook.
Go ahead, try to do it. Try to do it and see what happens. And I'm sitting in the, but I'm sitting in the green room for the last 45 minutes, and everyone who's come in there who knew this segment was going to air said the same thing. When I was a child, and they all talked about how different they were raised. This is 2014. It is not 1980 anymore, and so our kids have different expectations and different demands, and parents are having a tough time. And what I tell you is, the role of technology for parents allows them to be more connected to their children, but it allows their children to be less connected to their parents. And that's what the frustration is. It's anxiety, it's fear. They don't know what world their children are living in, and unfortunately, they're not willing to fight to be part of that technological world.
And how should they fight?
As Gail says, if not take away the technology, then participate in it. Engage in it. Know what your kids are experiencing online. But it's more than that. That gentleman who said, and they all agreed, the idea that their children find technology to be more powerful and more real than real life. The idea that you can be something different on the web than you are face-to-face. Kids don't know how to communicate anymore. They don't know how to talk. They don't look you straight in the eye. They say and like. They play with their hair. They don't know how to communicate anymore. And our parents have to have these conversations with their children. The most important advice I give them is that you come to the dinner table, you turn off the TV, you turn off the radio, and you come prepared with something that makes you passionate, something that makes you care.
Thank you, Frank. We'll be right back.
Thanks.